The coronavirus, now called COVID-19. They just mashed up the word coronavirus disease and the year started. What a creative but simple name, I must say. For this video, I'll try to refer to it as COVID-19, although it's just such a habit to say coronavirus now. Anyway, people react in a variety of different ways. Some are absolutely panicking, some are taking it very casually, and then you have people like Ray Comfort who claims that this virus was allowed to spread because of all the sin in the world. I mean, who else but Ray Comfort to take this as an opportunity to tell people that it's their own fault this is happening. His channel has a lot of videos of him preaching and also interviewing people. He seems to have an eye towards college students specifically. We're going to take a look at one of those videos, but before we begin, I would like to give a word to today's sponsor, NordVPN. Where have you been if you haven't heard of NordVPN? These guys have been sponsoring this channel for a while now, so if you haven't heard of them yet, I encourage you to check them out. Nord is an encryption service that hosts over 5,500 servers in 60 countries. Use it to unlock your favorite shows wherever you travel, without worrying about region-locked content. Especially if for some reason you decide to visit China during the COVID-19 outbreak, NordVPN would be a great option to bypass all the censorship there. But of course, it's also great for just protecting yourself in general while surfing the web, such as when you're using public connections. If all of this sounds good to you, Nord is always giving a massive discount. If you head to nordvpn.org/stick or use the coupon code STICK, you can get 70% off the 3-year plan, plus an additional month for free. That's nordvpn.org/stick. Thank you NordVPN for sponsoring this video. And without further ado, let's take a look at Ray Comfort taking advantage of the COVID-19 virus to make people feel bad about themselves, shall we?
Have you heard of the coronavirus?
Yes.
Are you worried about it?
Lately, yes.
Are you concerned about it?
A little bit, yeah.
Does it worry you?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because we have multiple cases here in the United States already.
So my opinion on outbreaks like this is that everyone should be concerned about it. Even if it hasn't reached your area yet, it's still a problem that is happening in the world. People are dying, and if I hear anything about a new virus killing people, even if those people are on the other side of the world, I'm going to be concerned. No, I'm not going to panic for my own life, but my empathy goes out to the people who have to deal with it. Not just people who are infected, but also the workers who put themselves at risk, and also people who aren't infected but has to stay home all day worrying about how they're going to get their next meal. It's not fun for anyone. By the way, as of this recording, it's February 20th. I'm just gonna get that out there because things update very quickly. But since I'm not covering any news, it shouldn't matter too much.
Are you concerned about it?
I am.
Is that why you're wearing that mask?
Currently, yes.
There's one thing I kind of want to get out there before we get into the meat of the video. Masks are currently short in supply. Everyone's trying to order them online, even here in the United States. And you know, that makes sense. You want to protect yourself as a #1 priority, I get that. However, I have to encourage everyone to not buy them unless you really need them. If you're in a place that has very few cases, like the United States for example, there's no need to buy them. The last thing we want is for healthcare providers and patients to not have enough supplies to go around, and that includes face masks.
Do you know what the symptoms are?
From what I understand, the symptoms are as simple as the common flu.
Oh yeah, coronaviruses in general, as a class of viruses, cause cold-like symptoms. If you got a cold at any point in your life, it might have been a coronavirus. It's more likely a rhinovirus, but coronaviruses are also incredibly common.
Have you heard of the coronavirus?
Yeah.
Scary?
Nope.
Why aren't you scared?
Because it's not here yet.
Sure, you can't detect the symptoms. Someone can be carrying it and give it to you. You don't manifest symptoms for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, although 2 weeks is more so the upper bound of the incubation period. It could be a few days.
Do you believe in God's existence?
Part.
Why would he give diseases like the corona disease? And why is there such a thing as disease?
Well, in my head, in the back of my head, it's always been there since that one Office episode, that there's too many people on this planet.
So God gave disease to kill them off?
Yeah, pretty.
This guy clearly doesn't give a shit. Believes in God, but also believes that the best way for him to mow down the population a bit is to introduce a novel virus to kill people. Just stop for a moment and think about how ridiculous that sounds. Now, I'm not here to bash on this guy because from his attitude, it feels like he's just saying whatever just to try to end this interview. I mean, if I were being interviewed by a preacher, I also wouldn't want to drag it on for too long. I mean, come on, I have better things to do, like watching paint dry while eating a tub of ice cream. What, you guys don't do that on your Saturday evenings?
The reason we have disease, pain, suffering, and death is because we live in a fallen creation.
You know what? If only that were the case, you know, then we could at least do something about it. Don't want an earthquake? Behave. Don't want to die? Behave. Don't want a new virus outbreak to happen somewhere in the world? Behave. If only it were that simple. But the only thing you really get out of behaving is a present from Santa Claus. Coal is like Santa's way of punishing bad children, right? But for God, he's just like, here, have a new novel coronavirus.
Would you take a vaccine if there was one?
Yeah.
And what about you?
Yes, I would.
And why would you take a vaccine? You're letting a stranger plunge a needle into your skin and pour in some sort of liquid?
Then
It's
I'll-
worth it.
It's worth it, yeah.
You don't let some stranger inject ya with his liquids, alright? You just don't let it happen. I guess Ray is also some sort of anti-vaxxer now? That's definitely something I didn't know about him. And this guy he's interviewing, like he clearly knows about vaccines and why they're important. And I think Ray cut out some of the footage where he probably goes something like, "What are you talking about?" and cut straight to the part where he says it's worth it, as if what Ray said is true. A stranger injecting you with some sort of unknown liquid. Ooh, how scary. But worth it, but worth it. I suppose Ray is not too keen with the idea because he probably has some sort of notion in his head that the COVID-19 virus was created by God specifically to punish sin, and vaccines would be artificially going against the way of God or something. Like if he wanted you to die from the virus, you shouldn't be opposing him, I guess. How ridiculous. Luckily for Ray, I guess, a vaccine won't be available until much later. I did a video explaining why it takes so long for a vaccine of a new virus to be developed. Check it out if you have time. Oh yeah, YouTube demonetized that video. Can you believe it? I talked about nothing in that video except for the science behind how viruses work and how outbreaks happen in the first place. I guess viruses in general is too controversial of a topic for YouTube. Either that or China isn't the only one trying to censor this topic. I'm starting to think that when you submit a manual review to YouTube, they don't actually manually review it. I feel like they just have like another automated system check it or something. Because there's no way anyone in their right minds, if they're human, would want to demonetize that one particular science video about COVID-19. There's just no way.
And you'd take it too?
Yeah, I will.
Without hesitation?
No, because if it helps me, then yeah, I will do it.
I wish the people being interviewed here would be more assertive. Like, if that were me, I'd be like, hell yeah, I would take it. What kind of dumb question is that? You know, I think we all need to step back for a moment and appreciate some of the things we take for granted. Like, in what other time in history of Earth could you just casually walk into a clinic and get a free or almost free vaccine? Like, you just go in and get a quick stab and bam, you're immune to that disease. Like, literally, what other time in the past has this ever been possible? Only today, folks, only today. People need to eat this up like candy. Like, please, inject me with that dirty needle, yeah! Except, you know, it would be a clean needle in this case. Yeah, clean needles! There's literally nothing better to inject. It's like heroin, but so much better. Like, what do you get out of heroin? Yeah, I get it. It feels good. But have you ever tried a vaccine? It literally prevents you from dying.
Do you realize you've got a terminal disease?
No.
Yeah, you're gonna die. So is your family, so are your neighbors.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna die eventually, but that doesn't mean you have a terminal disease, Ray Comfort. Also, who knows, we might find the key to immortality soon. People who are born today, and possibly millennials too, may become immortal. Wouldn't that be awesome? You get to watch my videos forever, until the end of time!
Do you know what causes death according to the Bible?
What?
Sin.
Sin?
Sin?
Yeah, and the Bible says the wages of sin is death. The reason you'll die is because God's given you the death sentence. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, first ask them about COVID-19 and slowly transition God into the mix. Just, you know, ever so casually. Now that they're trapped, they can't get out of the conversation. You know what I find funny? God already punishes you after you die by sending you to hell, yeah? We can all agree that that's the punishment he gives to people who lives in sin. So why does he have to add, on top of that, something to kill you? Not to mention that this is so unspecific. I'm sure plenty of people in Wuhan lived very humble lives. Why just randomly put in a virus that doesn't discriminate? It just makes no sense to me. And he could also use a different method that would make people more aware of his presence. Have wooden crosses rain down from the sky and stab all the sinful people. Then everyone would be worshipping you.
So why are you an atheist?
By choice.
Yeah, but why?
If you're taking it this route, sir, I don't feel comfortable taking it any further.
Can I just share one thought with you? I'll ask you one question about it. As an atheist, do you believe the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything?
It's plausible.
Ha, this guy knows what's happening, so he's like, I got better things to do. Anyway, to be an atheist, you don't have to have any theory or subscribe to any idea of anything. As long as you don't believe in a god, you're an atheist. It doesn't matter if you think the universe came from nothing or if you think the universe came about through magic. You would still be an atheist if you're not a theist. Wow, it's so easy to be an atheist these days, isn't it?
Well, you're going to die anyway, and the Bible says the reason you're going to die is because of sin. The wages of sin is death. God's given you the death sentence. How many lies have you told in your life?
I can't even count that.
So what do you call someone who's told countless lies?
Just a liar, I guess.
So what are you?
I mean, we're all liars, right?
Have you ever stolen something?
Yes, I have.
And what about you?
Yeah, I have.
What do you call someone who steals things?
Stealing.
Thief.
Thief,
So
yeah.
what are you?
A thief.
No, you're not. You're a lying thief. What about you, Ben? Are you a lying thief?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so the rest of the video is just him basically just shaming the people he's interviewing. I won't play the whole thing, and the guys are just turning the other cheek to him. Like, come on, stand up for yourself a bit. Yes, we've all lied, we've all stolen something, we've all done something that is bad, but those things don't define who we are. Just live a humble life, care for others, and do good for the world. That's all that matters. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Huge shout out to Fireshard, Liam, Don Jessica, and Joe Goldenberg for their support over at Patreon. I'll see you all next week for a new video.